In the golden age of Athens, when democracy blossomed and philosophy was born, one woman rose to prominence in a world otherwise reserved for men. She was neither queen nor priestess, but her name became legendary, Aspasia of Miletus. To some, she was a courtesan, a hetaira who wielded beauty and charm. To others, she was a brilliant intellectual, the companion and advisor of the great statesman Pericles. Her life became a dazzling example of how seduction, intelligence, and influence could converge in one extraordinary woman. From Miletus to Athens, Aspasia was born around 470 BC in the city of Miletus, in Asia Minor, far from Athens. Unlike Athenian women, who lived under strict restrictions and rarely appeared in public life, Aspasia grew up in an Ionian culture more tolerant of education and free expression. When she later moved to Athens, she entered a society where women were expected to be silent, hidden, and obedient. But Aspasia was no ordinary woman. She came to Athens as a hetaira, a highly educated courtesan, trained in conversation, rhetoric, and music. Unlike wives, who were confined to the home, hetairai could mingle with men in symposia, the banquets where ideas and politics flowed with wine. It was here that Aspasia first dazzled the Athenian elite. Meeting Pericles among the men captivated by her was Pericles, the most powerful statesman of Athens, known as the Olympian for his towering influence. Though already married, Pericles soon separated from his wife and took Aspasia as his partner. Their union was unconventional by Athenian standards. She could not legally marry him as a foreign woman, but she became his lifelong companion, lover, and intellectual equal. Aspasia's beauty was noted, but what truly enthralled Pericles was her sharp mind and eloquence. Ancient writers suggest that she advised him on political speeches and strategy. Some even claimed that the most famous oration of Pericles, the funeral oration, praising the virtues of Athenian democracy, bore the imprint of Aspasia's words. A lure beyond the bedroom, unlike the silent wives of Athens, Aspasia's salon was filled with philosophers, artists, and politicians. It was whispered that Socrates himself visited her house, engaging in discussions on love, virtue, and rhetoric. In such company, Aspasia was not merely an ornament, but a force, a woman whose intellect was as seductive as her form. But her public presence also attracted scandal. Many Athenians disapproved of a foreign courtesan influencing their leader. Comic playwrights mocked her mercilessly on stage, depicting her as a schemer who used her sexual power to manipulate Pericles. Some even accused her of running brothels, though these claims were likely slander. Still, the gossip underscored the unease of a patriarchal society confronted with a woman who dared to wield power through both body and mind. Power and peril, Pericles stood by her. He even passed a special decree granting citizenship to their son, Pericles, the younger, though Aspasia herself remained officially an outsider. During the height of his rule, she was by his side, her presence inseparable from his legacy. Yet influence came with peril. When Athens fell into crisis, enemies of Pericles sought to attack him through her. Aspasia was once brought to trial on charges of impiety and corruption, accused of disrespecting the gods and corrupting Athenian women. The case, steeped in political malice, could have destroyed her. But Pericles himself defended her in court, even weeping in her defense. She was acquitted, and her legend grew. After Pericles, when Pericles died of plague in 429 BC, Aspasia was left vulnerable. Yet she did not fade into obscurity. She later became the companion of another prominent politician, Lycicles, continuing to exert influence on Athenian politics until his death. Her survival in the brutal world of Athenian power was a testament to her resilience and adaptability. Aspasia's legacy. To her admirers, Aspasia was a muse of philosophy, a brilliant woman who elevated discourse and inspired leaders. To her critics, she was the dangerous seductress who ensnared Pericles and weakened Athens. This duality, part intellectual, part courtesan, part femme fatale, ensured that she remained one of the most fascinating figures of antiquity. Plato's writings preserve echoes of her reputation. In one dialogue, he portrays her as a teacher of rhetoric, even to Socrates. Later generations continued to debate her legacy. Was she truly a mastermind behind Athens' golden age, or merely a courtesan magnified by gossip? A femme fatale of the mind, Aspasia stands apart from Cleopatra, Messalina, or Salome. Where they wielded overt sexuality, Aspasia combined allure with intellect and wit. She represents a subtler, perhaps more dangerous form of seduction, not of the body alone but of the mind. She embodied the fear and fascination of men faced with a woman whose beauty was matched by intelligence, a woman who refused to be silent in a world that demanded women vanish into the shadows. Conclusion: Aspasia's story is not merely one of scandal or romance, it is a story of power in disguise. In a society that denied women political rights, she carved a place for herself at the very center of Athenian life. Through her we glimpse the possibility and the danger of female influence in a world ruled by men. Aspasia endures as a paradox, both courtesan and philosopher, seductress and stateswoman, muse and scapegoat. Her legacy proves that seduction can take many forms, and that sometimes the most irresistible weapon is not beauty alone, but the brilliance of the mind behind it.